Good morning. Today I'm going to show you a very easy way to make Greek pita. Pita that you use for souvlaki, for gyro, for anything you want. You can even make it into your own personal pizza, quick and easy to do in your toaster. So let's get started on the dough. I have 3 cups of flour. I used bread flour over here. I will add 2 teaspoons of instant yeast. I'll mix it a little bit because I don't want to add the salt immediately onto the yeast. The salt will kill the yeast. It's not going to make it work really well. I have 2 teaspoons of salt. You can use also 1.5 teaspoons, but the salt really gives a great flavor. I mix it in. I will add a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. You can add a tiny bit more. And into that 1 2/3 of warm water. And you just wet all the flour. Make sure all the flour that is in the bowl is incorporated into the dough itself. The dough will be soft dough because we want really fluffy and very spongy, air-like texture. Pita at the end. When all the dry flour is incorporated, you just let the dough rest for 5-7 minutes, and then you will come back to knead it again. Those 7 minutes are gonna let the flour absorb the liquid and get the gluten just settle in a way, and it's going to be much easier to knead it more perfectly. I'll show you when those 7 minutes will pass. Here's how the dough looks after it has rested for 7 minutes. I will just pull the edge and flip it over to the center, edge to center, edge to center, and I keep rotating the bowl, doing the same thing, making sure I am achieving smoother dough. And if you can see how it all gets together, and I can just pick it up and throw it back into the bowl, and with that stretching method I'm kind of kneading it in a way that keeps the dough much fluffier and much more wet, so we can achieve the result that I'm looking for, which is very cloudy and very light dough. As soon as I do that for about 2 to 3 minutes, I will cover the dough and let it rise until it doubles, and that will take about an hour or so. I'll show you how smooth the dough is now. This is how smooth and silky the dough is, and it's very soft. I will oil the bowl a little bit. So I will pick up the dough with one hand. I will just drop of oil in the bowl, spread it out. You can also use clean bowl, but I try to reduce the amount of work I have to do after and clean up. So at this time, I oil the dough and I'll cover it and let it double in size. And I'll see you when that happens. Dough has expanded and doubled. I'll show you. That's how it looks now. I have here a silpat. Since it's very soft dough, I'd rather use it as is without adding any extra flour to make it easy to manipulate. But when I put it on the silpat, it's not going to stick. It's going to be much easier to handle. You can do parchment paper, but I feel parchment paper, it sticks on the paper and the paper starts moving. So silpat is just the perfect way that I find to be very helpful. I cut the dough into half, and each half into half. I am trying to make 8 pitas out of this. So now that I have 4, I cut halves again, and I end up with 8 pieces that are almost very similar in size. I take each piece and I just tuck the edges in, shape it into kind of ball like that, and we'll let it rise again, sit and rest for about half an hour, 20 minutes, and then we will be baking them. They will be done on the stove, not in the oven. We will cover and let it rest in a warm place. What I do normally, I just put the light on in my oven and I put them in the oven, and the light, the warmth of the dough itself will create the warmth that it needs to rest and rise again. Here's the pan. It's heating on the stove. I have the dough that is already rested and have risen. I took one in my hand and I just try to go around and around and stretch as I go. And open it while stretching to the size that I need it to be. If you wish to have it thicker, then you don't stretch too much. If you like thinner, then you stretch it a little bit to a bigger diameter. When you achieve the size that you want and the thickness that you want, as I have done over here, see? If the dough is too sticky, you can flour your hands a little bit. If it's not, then you can just work it the way it is. When I achieve the size that I want, I will put it on the stove in the hot pan. You will notice that it starts slowly. The dough starts drying a little bit. You can check at the bottom. I checked and it's red and nice. I flip it. When it achieves this same color on the other side, it means that it's done. Here you go. This is a beautiful pita, thick, soft from the inside, and delicious to pair with any food that you wish to wrap in it. And it's done. The pita is done. It's delicious. It's very soft and pliable. It's stretchy and delicious. I hope you'll try it and let me know what you think. It's totally delicious.